Hi everyone, Tom was here, back at it with another mail day video. It has been a little while since we had some mail, and actually it's a little bit of a mix of a mail day as well as pickups. Because there's one unique theme, even though there's different genres represented, there's one unique theme that combines all of these items that we're going to show off today, and that is they are multi-signed pieces. Now, I'll be honest, when I started this autograph collection in the pandemic, I never expected to have a multi-signed piece. I have a few of them. I did actually, this is one that was like almost, it came out of a mystery box from CPA, I think, that had Carpenter and Kyle Richards on there, and I added Sandy Johnson and Nick Castle with Steel City Con, and then I have one from Psych here with the boys. But that's really the extent of my multi-signed pieces collection. I do have a couple items that are signed by both Jay and Silent Bob as well, Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes, but that's really the extent of it. So I have upped my quotient because I have 3 items here that are multi-signed pieces. I am a bargain autograph hunter, and doing bargain autographs and getting things cheap don't always equate to getting multi-signed pieces because they're generally expensive. But in this circumstance, they did. So we're going to get into what I grabbed, and some from the world of sport, football, some from the world of television, and one from the world of movies. So we're going to get into that, show off some multi-signed pieces and things that I got. So come join me on Tom Was Here.
Hey, how do you like this? I'm Dan Israel, and you're watching Tom Was Here.
Okay, so multi-sign pieces, getting multiple people to sign one piece, is not an easy thing, and sometimes you can get them at the right convention if they have certain reunions. Steel City Con had a few reunions of items, but it can be pretty costly to do that. So when you're working on kind of a budget like I am, it's not something where you're, throwing out piles of money unless it's a franchise that's beloved. But I ended up getting some multi-signed items. This first one was a pickup from Remix by Steel City Galleries. I've done several videos there now. Probably my favorite collectible store in the area, because Don, man, he loves a good deal. So if you're in the Pittsburgh area, you can get some items for some pretty good deals. Now, what are your thoughts on, say, cut signatures, where, somebody signs something, they cut it, and they turn it into, a framed item with that cut signature? I guess it depends on who it is. I was kind of hit and miss on them. Certain items I thought it was kind of weird, like it didn't really mesh well. Certain ones I've seen were really good. But I happen to have a cut signature piece here. From Remixed, that I was given an incredible deal on by Don that I cannot, I've had my eye on it for a while. I never thought it would be something I would have in my possession, but it is from the world of football, so people that are not interested in sports can fast forward to the other ones that are not. But this one here, when this was framed, and it's a giant frame, it's a 20 by 30. I have it in my office currently. It fits perfectly on the one wall in my office. And my office after this video will be pretty much done, which really limits my space because I was putting a lot of like new stuff or stuff that left from the wall was going in the office. But now that the wall's getting pretty full, the basement's getting pretty full, the office getting pretty full, I'm pretty much limited on space. But I have this one. At the time this was framed, the cut signatures were put together in a mat and framed by the leading rusher of all time in the NFL, the leading passer of all time in the NFL, and the leading receiver of all time in the NFL. So that was when this was done. It has one category has changed since then. But this is, I don't even know if I can fit it in the entire shot here, but this is a cut signature piece from Emmitt Smith, Peyton Manning, and Jerry Rice. So at the time, they were number ones in their respective categories. Now, Tom Brady has surpassed Peyton Manning, and he's the all-time leader in passing. But since I hate Tom Brady with a passion of 1,000 suns, I'm happy to have Peyton Manning as the piece on here, even though it's potentially not something that is, even not accurate anymore. But anywho, thrilled to have that. got an incredible deal by Don. Basically, I just traded items that have been sitting in my basement for years for it. Basically, it was almost like a straight up trade. Just like a bunch of like old action figures and Funkos and stuff that just I don't know if some of the things haven't seen the light of day for years. So thrilled to have this as part of it. I thought about, kind of funny at some point, maybe someday, just getting 8x10s autographed as well and replacing the 8x10s in there, so it's like a dual autograph thing. But I don't know. That's way down the road. But no, pretty happy with that item. Never thought I would have it in my possession, because the price point when I first saw it, you do see it in the first remix video. I show it off. It was like $800 or something. What I ended up paying for it was for action figures and toys, my kid's toys for my basement that he hasn't played with for however many years. So I'll take that. No money was exchanged. But this next one here is from the world of television. An underrated show, but it was a popular show for its day. It was a popular show because it's based on a popular comic book character. Maybe the most popular comic book character. Even though that character, technically, did not actually appear until I think like the last episode. But this was from Zobie. And they were running a deal, and I got to give credit to Michael from Box Pop and Beauty, who posted this on the Mystery Box Bunker, because it was a hell of a deal, because they're selling this item regular price for $150. I think it's $150. But they were selling it on a flash sale for $40. And it's from definitely one of my son's favorite TV shows. He's going to angle to try to get it. I'm going to tell him he can have it when I get another 11x14 for my office. Has both JSA and Celebrity Authentics authentication, and it is from Gotham, the Gotham TV show, and it is signed by Ben McKenzie, who was Jim Gordon. It is signed by David, what's his name, and Claire. He's Bruce Wayne, the future Batman, and Claire Foley, who was Little Ivy. There. So the cool thing about this particular one is, even though I haven't seen too many of these people make the rounds as of late, should they ever make the Comic-Con rounds, you could add, just about all these people except for Jada Pinkett Smith. I don't want to get hit. So beyond that, you can add just about everybody to this piece, should that be something you want to do. But for $40, if you went to a Comic-Con, I guarantee he's more than 40. He might be around there, maybe. And who knows? Like, I don't know of any Comic-Cons she would have done as of late, but that could be somewhere. Basically, at least with Steel City Con, the minimum Comic-Con price is $40. So to get this for $40 with them all signed, with a dual cert of JSA and Celebrity Authentics, is amazing. That's amazing. So thrilled to have that for $40. That was a bargain. Zobie coming through with the deals. I couldn't pass it up. Now this last one here, I'll be honest, I wasn't even looking for. I just look on eBay from time to time, as I do. And I know a lot of people have had some trouble with eBay. They've had some, things where people, they don't send stuff, or, it's not certed and it's fake. And, you got to do a lot of digging on eBay to find a gem. And I found this item. And it's from an iconic film. Not the first time I've been lucky with this particular iconic film on eBay, which is pretty crazy to me. But this particular one, I'm especially proud of, because it has not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, but 9 people that were in this film signed this. And, if you're going to a convention and you're going to meet people that are in a movie, getting 9 people to sign a certain thing, as you may well know, is costly. It is not easy. It is not cheap. It takes a ton of time. But in this particular circumstance, not all these 9 people are in notable roles in this film. In fact, of the 4 people that are on this poster, there's 4 people on here. Only 2 of them have signed it. 2 of them have done signings. They're very expensive signings. I don't know if I'll ever be able to get those signings. But the one crazy thing about this is that the 2 people that have signed this, that are on this poster, sadly, are no longer with us. They have died. And then the other people that have signed this were in this film. Don't get me wrong. They're in this film. They're in lesser roles. But anywho, this is from Goodfellas. The film Goodfellas. And I watched this thing, bid. The minimum was $75. And I watched it. And I watched it as it whittled down to 0. And it got about as high as 130. And I went, you know what? Let's bid like 150 for fun. And I won it for, I think, like 151 or something like that. So $151 I won this for. And it's this. This is a 16 by 20. It is signed by Ray Liotta. It is signed by Paul Sorvino, which sadly they are not with us anymore. Now the rest of the other people, the other notable person is Lorraine Bracco, who was Karen, who was Henry Hill's wife, of course, in Goodfellas. The other person that I would say is notable is, I believe it's here, it's Vincent Pastore, who was he was Big Pussy on The Sopranos. But in this film, he was Guy with Coat Rack. He was the guy that when they were I think it was when they were ushering Ray Liotta into like the restaurant scene, he just popped on the screen and he had a coat rack. So the rest of the, notable guy who's been in movies, but not a notable role in this movie. Now the other people that have signed it were like the young version of Tommy, the young version of Henry Hill, a few other guys that were mobsters, like the mobster guy that had like the perm, the mobster guy that, him and his wife got killed in like the pink Cadillac car. People like that signed this, and other notable people that popped up in like a scene or two. So nobody that's like, it's not like Maurice Wiggs or anybody else, no Michael Imperioli, no Spider on this, obviously no Pesci, no De Niro. But for $150, because I guarantee you, obviously, unless somebody did some private, signing, even with a private signing, this had to have cost more to assemble. There's also 2 certs on here. One of these certs is Ray Liotta, just Ray Liotta and Lorraine Bracco. The other cert is everybody else. So it's dual JSA certed, signed by all of these people. And, like I said with the Ray Liotta one, when I got this for really cheap, like a month after he died, for about the same price. I got this poster for about the same price as this poster. So, and the one common denominator is that Ray Liotta, is sadly no longer with us. I love Ray Liotta he's great. And this is his, this is his film. Listen, say what you will about De Niro, Pesci, they're incredible in this movie. There's no doubt about it. But obviously, Ray Liotta is the main character in this film. He is the star of this film. So to get him, to get Karen, to get Paul Sorvino, and to get everybody else on a poster for this cheap, come on now. I don't know why the stuff bids so low. I have no idea why Goodfellas stuff, how I've been able to get Goodfellas things for this cheap. And like I said with the Ray Liotta one, arguably it would be a lot easier, more expensive, but a lot easier for me to add De Niro and Pesci and Scorsese, for that matter, to this one currently than it would be to add Paul Sorvino or Ray Liotta, sadly, because they're no longer with us. Pesci and De Niro and Scorsese are. So, one thing I did want to question. So it has dual certs, right? Anytime you look up a cert on JSA, it says, do you want to upgrade this to an LOA? And I think I'm going to try and explore that, combine these two into like a letter of authenticity, because obviously with this many people, and including two of the main characters who are on the poster that, you know, are no longer alive anymore, that it should be something that should be an LOA. We'll see. I don't know if that has to be seen to have that happen, or if it's just something that can be done, but it's definitely something I want to explore. But that'll do it. Multi-signed from the world of sport, from the world of television, from the world of film. Incredible value that I paid for these items. One for, like I said, stuff in my basement. One for $40, and this Goodfellas one for $150 is absolutely insane. So, always check eBay. Always check eBay. You know, you got to do your due diligence. You got to look for something that has a JSA. You got to look up the JSA. I was looking up an item with a JSA recently, and I found out it had a completely different person's name on it. Contacted the seller and went, "Is this the right name, or did you mislabel it?" And he went, "Oh my god, I never looked at this before." Called JSA, ended up switching the name on it. So definitely look it up just to make sure that you are getting legit, you know, authenticated pieces. Don't take any chances on anything. Sometimes, if it's too good to be true, sometimes it might be. It might actually be. It might actually be true. Very rarely. But that'll do it for Mailday multi-sign pieces. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you are new here, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you'd like to support me on Patreon like John Bailey did, you can do so. Link is in the description below. If you'd like to buy a t-shirt, a Tomwashere t-shirt, you can do so at Spreadshirt, as well as links for my eBay store, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, and the Pennsylvania Autograph Collectors Association. Links are in the description below. There's going to be a bit of an overhaul here. I can tell you this. The cabinet and the wall are getting redone. It's been a little while since I did anything like that, so we're going to do that reshuffling. So, next unboxing, it may look completely different. But until the next unboxing or the next video, I will see you soon. But until then, bye everyone.